Welcome back to AFTV, everyone. It's the Starting 11 show, and I'm here with Christian, Ty and Charlene as we look ahead to Arsenal's 11 to face Brentford away from home in the first game of 2025, and of course a massive Happy New Year to all of you as well tuning in. We are going to have the Starting 11 news in about 14 minutes, so we don't have long to hash it out. It is worth telling people there are rumours of a bug, a sickness in the Arsenal camp. We don't know who that's potentially affected, if anyone, but we're going to have to speculate, unfortunately. We'll get the answers pretty soon. But it's not the way we wanted to start the new year, is it? Christian Time, welcome back, mate.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm good. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Charlene.
Happy New Year to everyone watching as well.
Happy New Year out there. Yeah, I mean, I woke up thinking about Arsenal, new year, fresh start, and then I go on Twitter and I see this news sickness bug. Not what you want to hear. We don't know what's going on. I don't want to scare any viewers out there, but Cass behind the scenes heard something about maybe Odegaard, maybe Havertz. Look, if Havertz is out, we've got a replacement. If Odegaard is out, we're in trouble. I mean, Nwaneri can come in and do a job. But let's not speculate yet. Like you said, we've only got 13, 14 minutes till we see the team. So let's keep the bug gate down for now. And let's see what happens when we see the team, I guess.
It's hard not to speculate.
No, yeah, of course.
I mean, because that's the thing, Charlene. Arteta must be tearing his hair out. Let's assume it's true for a sec, because very rarely do these rumours on match days actually not amount to the truth. I'm just being honest. More often than not, we see something like this and we're like, oh, there's some truth to it. Arteta must be tearing his hair out. You know, the players he's had missing, the Saka injury now, he's had to have surgery. We had 2 months without Odegaard, and we can talk about what we did or didn't do in the window. The point is, if he had the players as fit and available he'd like, you know, the team would be looking a lot different.
Exactly. I mean, this season has just been crazy. It's just literally been one thing after another, and it's been our main starting 11. You know, the squad started really light as it is at the beginning of the season, and it's just been continuously, you know, people getting injured, the discipline, and now to be hit with a sickness bug, it's just like, my gosh, is there anything else, you know, to hit us right now?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping and praying it's nothing too detrimental, and hopefully we haven't got, you know, too many of our main players out, because we haven't got any other options on the bench. Saka's out.
That's what was really concerning. The Ipswich game, Nwaneri was the only attacker on the bench,
Exactly.
and the guy's 17 years old.
No, I know.
You know, and actually, you look at the 11, Havertz, Jesus, Martinelli and Trossard all did start. So to be fair, 4 attackers out on the pitch. But, you know, you think, OK, well, that must at least bring some fluidity and great attacking football, but we struggle to see that. And sometimes you do need to have something you can bring on from the bench. Now, already that's a bit of a struggle with the Sterling and Saka injuries. Already we're a bit depleted in the squad. And now there's rumours of a bug and a sickness. And look, I'm not trying to start 2025 on such a downer, but we can't pretend that this isn't what people are talking about, unfortunately. It looks like Arsenal could be in a little bit of trouble on this front, Christian.
Of course we could. I mean, we know from the summer that we left ourselves short. There are things that we can't control. Saka's injury, Sterling's injury. If Havertz was on the bench against Ipswich, then there would have been 2 attacking options because Partey could have played. So maybe that's a little bit of a silver lining, or you can see it from the other side. But essentially it goes back to the summer where we did leave ourselves short. Now, we are fortunate enough that we are still in, if you want to say we're still in with a chance of the Premier League, then we're still in all 4 competitions. We still have a chance of doing something good this season. And we're in January, which is the silver lining. We have a chance now to go and sign a player or 2 and actually make something out of this season. But if there's anything the ownership of this club have shown me over the last 10, 20 years, is that when we are a player or 2 or 3 away from doing something great and actually, you know, getting back and challenging and being where we should be and winning things, they don't do it.
And that's the
we leave ourselves short year after year.
There's opportunity with every hurdle. With every problem, there is something you can maybe get out of it in a more positive light. Now, no one for 1 second is ever saying that Bukayo Saka being injured is a good thing. It's absolutely not. He's been our best player for the last 5 years. He's crucial. He's about the only real star quality we have in that final third, and that's what we've been lacking this season. The poor guy needs a rest, and I hope he comes back fit and firing. But if there's one small, slight silver lining, it's, well, he said it's January. And if there were ever going to be, I don't know, that real kind of prod in the back to Arsenal, like, are you going to bring your summer business forward? Are you going to do the business early that you should, blah, blah. You know, with Saka fit, you just feel like the club in the past have gone, Aubameyang's leaving, we'll address it in the summer. You know, oh, well, we've had a few injuries, we'll be okay.
Yeah.
It feels like there's just no other path the club can take here, Charlie. Like, there's, oh, sorry, were you going to come in there, Christian?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I agree with you. 100% what you're saying is right. But they always leave themselves short in terms of questions from the fans. Because if they go in January now and they bring in Marmoush or Kudus and they bring in Gyökeres, they bring in 2 top players, right? The fans will still be saying, well, we're out of the Premier League title race now. Why don't you do that in the summer? Why don't you bolster this squad and give us exactly what we need in the summer? And then if it comes to January and we need just one player to fill up that squad, you can get that one player. Mm-hmm. Whereas they're going to have to rush into buying, expensive quality players now, when they could have done it in the summer and we could have had them for the entire season.
Yeah.
So
I want to get your thoughts on this, Charlene, because actually quite a bit of transfer news did come on New Year's Eve. I mean, a lot of people were still working, fair play to him. Sam C at the United stand was saying that a host of Premier clubs, including Arsenal, Man United, have been watching Jobe Bellingham, obviously playing at Sunderland, younger brother of Jude Bellingham. That's a midfield profile, likely one for the summer, but that came out yesterday. Sammy Mockbell was confirming reports that Arsenal are actively looking to sign a forward after Saka's surgery, with him also answering a question about whether Arsenal can spend big in January. He said, yes, money won't be an issue. So I always wonder what the messages the clubs are trying to get out there is, because this is a journalist who, Sammy Mockbell's been very reliable on Arsenal front. Now, sometimes, journalists have very credible info, but sometimes as well, the club want to get it out there that they don't have money to spend, don't expect us to do anything, so they can surprise people. Mm-hmm. But it looks like the message is more, no, we got money. If we can do business, we will do it. And that's a different tone going into this January than I expected, Charlene, and it gives me that little bit more hope.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're probably recognising that actually we're in a crisis right now. Let's be real. January alone, we've got like 9 fixtures, including this one. We've got 9 fixtures. That's all competitions. So that's the Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup. And we are very short. So the fact that they're saying that, fills me with a bit of confidence that actually we are lacking and we do need to spend. And I'm hoping they don't hold back on the spending as well. We need to get the players that we need in order to see us through this season and try and win something. We need to get some trophies.
No, for sure. It's no secret that we need to spend in January, which maybe is why they're coming out with this approach. Everyone can see Saka's out. He's our best player. We obviously need to replace him in that position. Sterling's now out. Yep. We had one attacker on the bench against Ipswich. So, like you said, it is no secret. So maybe for these journalists and for the club, the best thing to do is come out and say, we have the money to spend, rather than we don't have the money to spend and then get desperate towards the end and the prices go up. Maybe that's the approach. Yeah,
maybe it has to be a more aggressive approach. So, like you said, short window, possibly. A lot of games coming thick and fast. I mean, these cup games next week are going to be huge. Probably no time to waste. We've got to get this business done if we are going to do anything.
And I hope we do get the business done early as well. Yeah. No irrational last-minute shopping. No. Yeah. Let's do it nice and early.
Totally agree.
And we've got to remember as well, we haven't got Edu during this
That's a good point.
Transfer window. So.
Well, there'll be a team of people there, but I'm still sceptical about the Edu stuff. All of it.
Do you feel like it's not true?
I don't... No,
Well, you're praying it's not true. Or?
Look, I'm speaking purely on... I'm just hypothesising. I obviously don't know anything, nor the reports suggesting it's anything more than just there was another job and he's looking like he's taken that, right?
He's taken that job.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like totally opinion. I feel like Arteta and Edu, but sorry, not Arteta. Arsenal and Edu maybe are both happy with ultimately. The changing the situation. I don't know who more than the other. I don't know, but I just feel like the summer didn't go perfectly.
Yep.
And I imagine there's some, I don't know, some questions around
I know what you mean. Sometimes you get a feeling that there's more to it than meets the eye or what they're saying. It also came at a very weird time.
Yeah, it did.
Why would they not wait until January or wait until the summer, wait till there's a break?
Edu was really integrating this project. Like, he was really side by side with Arteta. He played a massive part in the recruitment of players. And does he not want to see that out? As good a job as it is. I mean, Arsenal is the club of his life, you know.
Exactly.
So, I just have questions. But, you raise a great point there, Sharon. We're going to find out in 4 minutes what the 11 is. But we know this now from Simon Collins, that there's no Raheem Sterling with the Arsenal squad. But it looks like a strong team has arrived. So maybe any fears of the bug aren't quite as much to worry about as we thought. Imagine. But Saka's the kind of guy who would just stroll in from his
Can you imagine?
I'm ready to go.
Oh my God, I would love it. I've been seeing pictures of Saka over the past couple of weeks. like when he was playing, just feeling like a pit in my stomach.
Yeah.
Just knowing that we're
literally.
not going to have Bukayo for like the
know.
next.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see him again this season.
That's what I'm thinking, because they say minimum 2 months, and you know,
I've
like,
heard minimum 3 to 4 months when it comes to
Hamstring.
torn hamstring and surgery.
oh yeah.
That's what De Bruyne did. I think he did it in the was Champions League
What did
final,
he do,
right?
sorry?
De
So I
Bruyne-
got
Hamstring.
distracted by the super chat. Ryan says, shout out to my crush, Charlie.
Oh, shout out
3
to you,
points are a
Ryan.
must tonight. Let's start 2025 off right. There you go.
Absolutely. 3
so-
points.
we were
Ryan's
just
a
saying
fan.
about.
Big up to you.
So I don't think we're going to see Saka again this season.
That
Well,
was
I
my
really
initial
don't.
thought when he went down.
It's a torn hamstring. He's
Yeah.
had surgery. For me, that's 4 to 6 months.
You know the Jurien Timber injury? Again, I keep speaking, having no information on any of this stuff. It's purely opinion based. It's purely hypothetical, or hypothesizing and predicting. But I feel like if we had an injury crisis last season at fullback, a bit like we've had this season, I think Timber might have been able to play some football. Based on the fact that when they were all in Dubai in January, he was already kicking balls into a net and doing exercises. Now, I'm no physio, but I imagine that it's not from January to May that you're actually able, it's not that long that you're able to actually play football again. I think Arsenal took their time because Kivior was playing really well left back, because Tomiyasu largely stayed fit, because Ben White was in sensational form, because Zinchenko started to get himself available a little bit more, and they probably just felt they were pretty covered, really. I think with Saka, it might be a similar thing where they might be able to get him fit and ready to get on the pitch by March. But if you sign an Mbemo or a Kudus and they're firing, and Marte rediscovers some form, and Arsenal are on some sort of run like last season, you just maybe just hold him back till April, mid-April, or maybe May in the running, just when you really need him, or just keep the team ticking while he's actually taking every precaution he can to ensure he's ready for the summer. I mean, maybe that's how to manage it going forward.
I guess so.
But it's
Yeah.
From what I've seen,
Guessing.
what I've looked up, I mean, I've torn my ACL. I know how long an ACL takes. Timber, that was the first game of the season against Nottingham Forest. He tore it,
Yeah.
and he came back in the last game of the season
Yeah.
against Everton, right?
But look at the way
So
he was brought on when we needed to go with 30 minutes to play. That tells me he could have played in the weeks before. in my
Possibly,
opinion.
yeah.
Because to be thrust into that position from you're not playing a single minute all season since the first hour to we're going to drop you in and we really need you in this final 30 minutes. Like, I don't know, that made me
Would
E
he
think
not
maybe
have
it was-
played with the under-23s or something?
I think he did.
He did,
Yeah.
he scored a goal.
Yes,
Oh no,
yes.
was it this season he scored that goal?
No, that was last season.
It was last season.
And I'm pretty sure
I
it
know.
wasn't at the very end of the season. I'm pretty sure that was a few weeks before. Anyway, we're
It's the starting 11 in yet. I'm getting a bit anxious
we're a minute
now.
away. We're a minute away. I mean,
We're
we've
not
had
going to see Saka. I'm already anxious.
Well, we've kind of had to avoid all conversation around it simply because we don't know who this bug could apply to. Obviously, the Lewis Skelly Calafiori debate, we discussed it on the previews on AFTV. But would you be sticking with Lewis Skelly?
Oh, absolutely. I think he is such a superstar, such a good young talent. What I
He's
love
been
about
terrific.
him is his confidence. And that's what I really love about these young players who just play with absolutely no fear. He's strong. Like, he just slots in so well. So I definitely keep Lewis Skelly. I like what I'm
Would you
seeing
go?
from him so far.
Yeah, brilliant player. The thing with young players is usually you see a moment where they get exposed or they get beat. I don't think I've seen one moment. Maybe when Salah came on. When he came on and then Salah beat him against Liverpool. But that was unfair. Since he's had this...
And look at
I'll
what
forgive- I'll
backline we
forgive him.
had on that day as well.
I'll forgive him against an all-timer.
He was playing next to Kivior, the team was botched. Like, that was Salah. Whereas when he's come into this run, he's been brilliant. I don't see any
Ruthless.
reason to drop him.
Exactly.
If Calafiori started today, I wouldn't be upset. I do think Calafiori is the better player. He's our big money signing. I think up against Mbemo, maybe Arteta will take him out. But if Lewis Skelly starts, I'm more than happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm still refreshing, trying to find out.
No news.
Because, of course, it does come out that, hour and 15 minutes earlier. The 11, ahead of kickoff. It used to be just an hour before, waiting for some information. But again, very little. Let us know in the chat if you guys can find it. I've got it. Here we go. Arsenal have released the 11.
Right. Drum roll, please. James, I don't like your expression right now.
Hit us.
David
Don't hit us,
David
please
Raya
don't.
in goal.
Okay, well, thank God, because I was going to say, imagine Raya's unwell.
With Timber, Saliba, Gabriel and Calafiori is restored at left back.
Calafiori, okay.
Now the midfield is Partey, Marino and Ødegaard.
Okay, no rice.
Yeah. Partey, Marino, Ødegaard with Martinelli on the left, Jesus up front and Nwaneri on the right.
Nwaneri
Really?
Starting on the right in
Okay.
Bukayo
Play.
Saka's absence, which is fascinating because that bench does include Neto, of course, Kivior, Tierney, Zinchenko, Lewis Skelly, so still the 4 left-backs, Jorginho and Rice with Cabia and Trossard. So he's opted to start Nwaneri on the right ahead of Leandro Trossard, playing on the left with Martinelli on the right.
Yeah.
And Rice is on the bench, so it's not illness keeping him out. But Kai Havertz, it could be illness because he, of course, isn't there. Youngster Cabio, I think it's 18 or 19, is on the bench, so 2 attackers this time. But there you go, a very, very balanced 11. And I'm going to say, an 11 I really, really like. I have no complaints from me. I wonder about the Rice decision, but that's a balanced midfield. I like Marino. I think he's going to show us something. Yeah. And Nwaneri, for me, is the closest to Bukayo Saka out on that right-hand side. So there you have it.
Exciting. I'm happy with that. I can understand, I guess, why he started Nwaneri on the right. Maybe, left Lewis Skelly on the bench to bring in, I don't know, a bit more experience. But I'm happy with that starting 11. I hope Havertz ain't too unwell either.
Yeah,
but
that's interesting. What do you make of it?
A big day for Nwaneri. Everyone's been calling. The last time he started was Carabao Cup, where he got hooked at half-time. I don't think he was bad. I
thought that was harsh.
I don't think the balance of the team was right in that first half. But yeah, I like the team. If you'd asked me what do I think, I thought Calafiori would come back in. I think up against Mbeumo, it's going to be a tough day. Also, I think Calafiori gives you more going forward than Lewis Skelly might. If there was one criticism, I don't want to criticise 18-year-old kid who's been brilliant. But going forward, I think he lacks what Calafiori can maybe add.
He's got more of a stride on him, Calafiori, hasn't he?
He does.
Can drive into space. So I think Lewis Skelly can more run the tempo of a game and get on the ball.
And he's only 18. He'll get there. He'll get that stride. He'll learn what to do going forward.
Is Nwaneri starting maybe a reason why Lewis Skelly's out? I mean, to have a 17 and 18-year-old both starting the 11, I know Calafiori's only 22, 23 himself. There's a bit more seniority in there.
Could be, yeah.
That was
my
initial thought as well.
For sure.
Like, bring Calafiori in on the left and then let Nwaneri start over on that right-hand side. So.
Yeah, that could be a part of it. I have one concern.
What's that?
Now, look, I've just said I'm really happy with the 11, but I think if I've got one concern is, one thing Arteta's done really well, especially for a lot of 2024 when we had this sensational run away from home, you had a real spine with Rice in there, like 6'1", like we know how commanding and what a destructive midfielder he can be. You've got Kai Havertz up front, 6'4", kind of holds up the ball and is part of that spine. With kind of, other players in there like Ødegaard, but you get your centre-back partnership of Saliba and Gabriel. I do look at this 11 and I just think, is it a touch too free-spirited and a bit, like we could play some sensational football, but could it also be a game where we maybe get a little bit bullied? You've got a pretty short front three there in Nwaneri, Jesus and Martinelli. You've got Ødegaard, Marino, technicians. Partey doesn't cover ground like Rice, but maybe he gets you on the ball more than Rice. So I just have my slight concerns from that perspective.
I see what you mean. I don't think it is. I think 6 of those players are monstrous players. The back 4, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori are all big, strong players. Yeah. Partey in the middle, we know what a destroyer he can be and probably been our best midfielder this season.
But on the ball is where he's really in his element. And away from home, we might have to do a lot of defending the counter against Brentford, a lot of defending transitions. It could be a bit more open game. Yeah. That's why I'm slightly concerned.
Yeah, you've got Marino in there who's going to kind of be getting forward into that left eight, which is offer some height and some strength getting forward. I see what you mean with the front 3, Nwaneri, Jesus, Martinelli, all maybe not the most physical players, but if we play our football and we open Brentford up today, I don't think we're going to need physicality going forward. Yeah. If we let Brentford sit back and we resort to crosses into the box, then we'll need physicality. But I don't see it as a game where we're going to need that necessarily. Well,
we've got a poll going, 76% already, with 600 votes in there asking if they're happy with the starting 11. 76% saying yes. Let's go through the super chats and we'll go through the Brentford 11. Idris saying the Havertz signing has created such a quagmire. What does quagmire mean?
No, I thought it was a Family Guy character.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Quagmire. Family Guys in the cartoon.
Educate me in the comments. A super chat from Bodie, but no text. But thank you very much for the super chat, Bodie. Appreciate the support. Life of Football Fan says, Happy New Year. Or may we have an abundance of strikers this year. Big up, James. Hope you are more critical and angry about Arteta this year and flinch. If Spurs have Abby, we have Charlene. Okay, there we go. What else have we got here? Idris says, great lineup, my preferred midfield trio, 3-0. The midfield trio could they get on the ball and play. That's our most technical midfield there. So that is quite exciting from that perspective. Big up the panel, says Mr. Kaplan. Any truth in our camp of having the food bug? Well, we'll find out from Mikel Arteta if maybe that's the reason why Rice is on the bench or why Havertz hasn't made the squad. Sterling, of course, didn't make it, which we kind of expected because of a knee injury. And, of course, we don't have Bukayo Saka and Ben White for more long-term injuries. I always forget the Ben White 2 months. I mean, this guy's been a staple in our defence for the last 3 years. And, because Timber's brilliant, we maybe don't talk about the injury as much, but it's a big one. The Brentford 11, Flecken in goal. He is fit. He was maybe not going to be, but he is fit. Now, I need to kind of play around with the 11 here, but the players are Yarnelt, Collins, Vandenberg and Roerslev. So, is that going to be Roerslev left back, Yarnelt right back? I haven't watched much of Brentford recently. That is how it's kind of been written out, unless it's Yarnelt was a left footer, so maybe he's left back with Roerslev right back, I don't know. They've got Norgard, Yarmolik, and Damsgaard. I saw some clips of Damsgaard the other day.
Yeah, brilliant.
He looked really good, didn't he?
Really good player.
With Lewis Potter and Bemo and Visa, so it looks like a 4-3-3 for them. And look, again, this isn't the five at the back with wing backs, Ivan Toney up front Brentford. This is a slightly different system, Brentford. This is a system that plays some real technicians in there, like Lewis Potter and Damsgaard, Yarmouk as well. Norgard, very experienced in the 2, 3, 4 years he's been playing in the Premier League. So he's going to have some problems for us. Sharda's on the bench too, obviously keeping an eye on. And Jensen as well, experienced Premier League player there too. Any thoughts on the Brentford 11?
Serious team with a serious manager.
And a serious home record.
100%.
Yeah, exactly.
They were unbeaten until last week, right? I think they got
against Nottingham Forest.
7 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. What Thomas Frank has done there has been absolutely brilliant. From where Brentford were when they came into the Premier League, to the recruitment, to the style of football they have now. Going away to Brentford is not an easy game at all for any team in this league. Can't be taken lightly. Obviously, Wissern and Burma, I think, are the 2 forward players you're going to look at.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, why Calafiori's playing.
Yeah.
That attack down the right is obviously their most dangerous threat. But
I would say this.
Not a team to be taken lightly.
And actually, people in the comments who are more research, let me know. It could be a back 3. It could be Yarnelt, Collins, Vandenberg with Roerslev and Lewis Potter as wing backs. It could be that. But again, you've still got Mbemo and Visa then as a 2. So it could be a 3-5-2 or 5-3-2. So, worth putting that out there.
They've got a lot of players out, haven't they? I think they've got like 10 players on their injury list.
Oh, yeah, Ali's put in there. Yeah, they play a 3. Okay, so they could be playing a 3, not a 4-3-3. My bad, people. Thomas said, set piece FC, we will win 1-0.
I don't care if we just win from
I'll
take it. I'll take a 1-0 today.
3 points.
So this is a tough game.
Waiting for some news on Kai Havertz. Normally Arsenal do a follow-up tweet, just sort of saying what's going on, but they haven't said anything.
Can I ask a question as well?
Yeah.
The fact that Ethan Nwaneri is going to be playing, over on that right-hand side, if he plays well, do you think this is going to impact our transfer window? That's always one of the concerns that I have. When we find a solution within, which is what Arteta's initial thought was in that press conference following Bukayo Saka's injury, it's like, okay, we're going to find a solution internally. And if we find that solution, what does that mean for the January transfer window? That is my concern.
If a 17-year-old playing in a position he hasn't played all season in the first team is our answer to our best player missing, then I'm slightly concerned. I really like Nwaneri. I actually think his future is in the front 3.
Yeah.
When I look at him, the way he drives, with the ball, the pockets he gets into, his ball strike, his ability to he hits it so cleanly. People were comparing him to player profiles. Now, Liverpool fans, I'm not for 1 second saying this guy's as good as Coutinho. If he ever gets that level, then phenomenal. But I actually think that is the type of player he might be more like. Coutinho could play in midfield, and at times Klopp moved in midfield 3, but often he played in the front 3, whether it be the false 9, whether it be out on the left, sort of getting into those positions where he's running at full-back, but he's also a bit of a creator at times. But I think Nwaneri's kind of more that type of player. And I think his future could be as a false 9, or out on the right, or out on the left, or whatever, or interchanging positions with Saka, or maybe in a 10 with a more robust 2 behind him. I'd like to see that for Nwaneri. So I think playing today, he's playing in the role I think is his long term. But it shouldn't affect our transfer window.
I hope not.
It's got to be a case.
We need additions.
It's going to be a test though, because he's going to have to be decisive today. When you play in a role that Saka plays. Saka is so decisive. He gets the ball, he knows if he's going to beat the man, go to the byline, if he's going to cut inside, if he's going to shoot, if he's going to pass. You have to make snap decisions. When Nwaneri's played so far, he's played in midfield where he's had time on the ball. He's had time to, turn, then go forward. Am I going to beat a man? Am I going to lay it off? So it's going to be interesting to see him today.
Yeah, I also wonder whether, just back to the window you mentioned there, Charlie, I just wonder whether if Arteta and Arsenal are in the market for a forward this January, which some reports and ITKs are saying, are they looking for a player that is a legitimate backup for Saka who can push Saka, or are they looking for a starting left winger so that when Saka's fit and Havertz and Jesus and Martin, then you pick your best 11 and that new sign is probably a part of it. And in the absence of Saka, Martinelli or Nwaneri or someone can do a job.
I reckon we're going to go for someone that's versatile, because it seems like with our recruitment, there's always that versatility. So I reckon it's going to be a player who can play more positions.
So then
as
that
opposed
means not
to
a striker.
Yeah, probably. Unless, if we're getting more than one, which we're hoping for.
Maybe that's why Mikel's scared of strikers, because they only play in one position.
Yeah.
You can't buy a Gyökeres and put him on the left. You can't buy an Isak. Maybe Isak you could, because Isak, you could play Isak anyway, he's brilliant. Exactly. But you can't buy Osimhen and put him on the left.
Yeah.
So we know.
If we get that versatility, then still get that out-and-out striker as well.
Right.
I guess the versatility is a player that can play on both sides, like a Kudus.
Yeah.
I know you're a big fan of Kudus.
I'm a massive.
I still can't believe we didn't get him for 35 million when West Ham did.
Don't get me started. But I totally agree. All right, everyone, we're going to leave it there. Let's just remind you of the 11. Raya in goal, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel and Calafiori is the back four. Calafiori returning at left back. Partey gets to start, having not started, nor did Marino actually the other day against Ipswich, but both of them are restored to the 11 with Ødegaard in there. Rumours that he was also ill, but he's not. He's fine to play. Nwaneri starts on the right in Bukayo Saka's absence, with Jesus up front and Martinelli on the left. Of course, Kai Havertz hasn't made it because he's ill, or that's the rumour anyway, but a really balanced front three with actually basically the players in the positions you'd want to see them. No forcing a left winger out to the right and try to do something clever with it. That is the option he's gone with. It's Nwaneri on the right, Neto, Kivior, Tierney, Zinchenko, Lewis Skelly, Jorginho, Rice, Cabia and Trossard on the bench. So 2 attackers, although one of them is an 18-year-old, but a big opportunity for him perhaps if we need to bring him on. And we do have a last minute super chat that's come in. Big G says, I hope we allow Ethan to express himself. I'm looking for him to cook, who is defending him and draw defenders in that second half. 2-0 Arsenal. He's going for the Brentford 11. Just to remind you super quickly, is Flecken in goal with Janelt, Collins and Vandenberg. Likely a back three. I got that wrong earlier, but yeah, probably a back three. Roerslev, Norgard, Yarmolenko, Damsgaard and Lewis Potter potentially, with Roerslev and Lewis Potter as the wing-backs and Mbemo and Wissa up front. We know that they're dangerous and can cause problems. All right, everyone, going to leave it there. Big thanks to Charlie, big thanks to Christian as well. We'll be back with the watch party. These chairs will be filled and people will be reacting to every kick of a ball with us in about 45 minutes. We'll be back 15 minutes before kick-off. Catch you all very soon.
I don't know what to say. I know this. Of course, what I'm supposed to be doing is my job, but I'm lost for words.
El Hadj Diouf, former Liverpool player from Senegal.
Freedom is the biggest thing in life. And for them, it's good for us and it's good for them. We are experiencing what they are going through.
When I see them like this, I'm happy to see them happy.
No, it's just a friendly game. We have to enjoy it and have fun.
I'm right back. I never played right back in my life.
Cecil come for you.
Yeah.
Cecil come on the right back.
Yeah. He begged me, he said, I beg you.
He begged you. You heard that, people. He begged.
You're coming off? Are you sure?
Imagine that. Took the king off and brought on a queen.
You never play for the Premier League.
Football unites, and this is what this is all about.